Welcome to episode 84 of Quick Hands Podcast. Today we've got George and myself, so the viewership's going to drop considerably now because we're missing our big man, our main man,
our fearless leader.
Nickel, our fearless leader. Unfortunately, he couldn't be with us tonight because he's not feeling well. He's a bit under the weather.
But you just got a phone call from Sasha.
Well, Sasha dropped him off at Parramatta Leagues.
You reckon?
But look, I'm not going to spread any rumours, but and apparently Rilesy and Brownie were out the front waiting for him. But look, he's sick. No, let's just take it as he's sick, all right?
Well, I know because I got a phone call from him and he sounded awful, so he's definitely sick. But mate, if Sasha says he dropped him, maybe I don't know. I don't know. He's always right, Sasha. He's always on the money.
He's our driver, mate. He takes us everywhere.
Maybe you should ring up Josephina. She's always got the dirty.
She's got the dirty. I'll make some calls, man. I'll see if we can get something.
Get better, Nicola.
Yeah. We've got a special guest here. We've got the, what is it?
Boy Wonder.
Boy Wonder.
Boy
That's
Wonder.
the one. I was trying to think of the nickname there. The Boy Wonder. He's got something for us.
Welcome, Boy Wonder.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah, what's up, guys? I'll just gonna be quick. I was gonna wait until episode 100, but I realized that wasn't gonna be until like next year or something.
Yeah.
So I wasn't bothered. I know it's been 84 episodes. It's been a long time in the coming, but I have a surprise for you guys.
Ooh.
It might take a while to get used to. It sucks Nick's not here, but I'm gonna play it. You guys can just let it digest.
Okay.
I personally think it's really good. Does anybody have any hints what it is?
I got no idea.
Do you have an idea? Do you have any hints of what I'm about to play?
No.
He's been peppering me all day.
Just let it digest, and eventually I feel like everybody will come to it.
Okay.
But I have the.
It's scary.
I know
I'm
it's
scared.
not that bad. I just have the new intro.
Oh,
Wow. Okay.
Addy's been calling for it,
There
actually.
you go.
I just have a new intro to
That's
the
it.
Quick Hands
Excellent.
pod. So the first, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna play it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm George.
Arthur.
And I'm Nick, and welcome to the Quick Hands Rugby League podcast. This is the pod. Tells it like it is.
Meters out. Short side. Cleary takes on Reynolds. Cleary scores. The Iceman cometh.
It's the Quick Hands Podcast. The Bulldogs used to be good, but that did not last. That's why Joe switched up the Panthers, he's an outcast. And controversy is a corner we don't walk past. Knicks ills have been in shambles since 86. Dragons haven't done no better, 2010's a clinch. Only team that's seen success is Panthers getting rich. The Bulldogs haven't touched the premiership, it's sad to think. I call up and I'm asking Artie for some Uber Eats. It's sad that Arthur has to sit there through all these defeats. Friday night footy needs tidbits just to be complete. I'm off the bench when we on mic talking the trust the week. I ain't playing AFL, we only mess with league. Getting touches every time, we're killing every team. I'm super quick with all these hands, I cast them onto thee. Calling George, Nick and Arthur to the stage, please.
That's it.
Oh, wow.
That's the new intro.
That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good.
God.
I don't know if you probably didn't hear, but when he said Alpha Uber driver is an ad lib, and you hear Sasha. So, if you play it back, you hear it.
I love it.
So that's my
That is so
that's
good.
my friend, the artist.
Oh,
So yeah,
wow.
we just cooked that
Boy
up.
Wonder.
That's fantastic. A big thank you for that. That's brilliant.
So that's the new intro. It sucks Nick wasn't here, but that was it. I'm out.
We just heard it.
I'm
Nicola
blown
just
away.
heard it.
I'm blown away. That's
But yeah,
so good.
that was it, boys. That was it. I'm out. I just wanted to show you guys that. That's the new intro. So,
Thank you. The Boy Wonder never ceases to amaze us. Eh? He's always
my
on fire.
God.
And a special thanks to the artist. Is that what we're going to call him now? The artist?
I'm stunned.
No, mate, that's brilliant.
I'm stunned.
But that was it. That was the new intro.
I'm stunned.
You can press it again if you want to listen to it.
Oh, no.
I think we can end it with that.
Yeah, that's our song of the week.
That's our song of the week.
Good on you. Look, you know what? He was peppering me all day, and I said, look, whatever you do, Boy Wonder, I'm good. You know, you got full control over the pod.
Yeah.
And that's true. We do nothing. We just come in, record it, and Nico said it before. We come in, record it, and he's got a job as well, and he does everything. He edits and does everything. So
It's fantastic.
I'm blown away about that. and we all get a mention as well.
Yeah, I know.
On
And
that,
our teams, they get mentioned.
yeah,
as well,
well,
which is good.
I think only our teams get mentioned. While we're in this spot, if I can speak regarding last week's pod, it was very well received, Adi.
Yep.
Very well received. And Tanya's one was very well received. But you, Nicola, and G-Man did one on the. We put it on the platform and on the channel regarding, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners here on the Quick Hands, on Quick Hands didn't hear it. I was going to say the other one.
The other one, Chip.
On Quick Hands, I didn't hear it because it was titled, and I'm not sure if you heard it back. It was titled "The History of the of Italian Football." That surpassed our best episode from Quick Hands
Oh, really?
twofold,
Wow.
and we got, and I'm sure they won't listen to Quick Hands, but we got a heavy listenership for that pod in southern England, not only northern England, heaps and heaps in Brazil, Uruguay, heaps and heaps in
Argentina?
Argentina and Italy.
Oh,
Okay.
good. Wow.
And guess what?
What?
It's finally happened.
What?
It's finally happened.
What's that, mate?
Northern Greece. They're online. They're finally online. Welcome, Greece.
Well, Manol, will be happy. That's
Welcome,
good.
Greece,
That's
yeah.
awesome. Welcome, Greece.
So northern Greece, and we'll staggered, double what Quick Hands gets.
Amazing.
So and then they've asked, well, they've asked if we can continue doing a pod for the Premier League and the Italian League, and I answered back that we're flat out doing once a week for rugby league. I'll go, but what I'll do is if you listen to the Quick Hands, I'll ask the boys, and again I don't know if you do or you don't. The offer's there, but that's what they've asked.
A monthly catch up, mate. At the end of the month, we can do a quick round of what happened in the month.
Maybe if you commit, because like you know, I don't watch it. So if you all want to get together and do even if you can do it on Skype,
That'd be good.
on Zoom, I mean, do a monthly catch up. But I couldn't believe the traction that got. You know what? Soccer's the most popular game in the world, by none.
Wow.
And I think the title that the boy one they gave it, the
History of soccer?
of Italian soccer.
Italian soccer.
I think that's what hooked up, because heavy presence in Italy.
Yeah.
Heavy presence in Italy and England. When I saw England, I thought, oh, England, but it was all coloured all down the south, middle and south.
Oh, wow.
There was some up the top as well, and there was some and the Greek one was up the top of Greece.
Oh, wow.
Red up the top of Greece. Anyway, I thought
Fantastic.
I mentioned that. That's look. A lot of the Quick Hand listeners might not have heard that one because when they probably saw soccer or Italian soccer, they probably just bypassed it.
Yeah.
It was on the same channel. But look, if anyone's listening from the crossover, welcome on board.
Yeah. Thank you. That's very good. That's fantastic news. I remember when I was at school, a very Aussie influenced school there. They used to call soccer, what was it, cross-country football? Cross-country ballet. Cross-country ballet. So it wasn't very popular in some parts of Australia. But no, it's good that we've got that many listeners, man. That's fantastic. Very encouraging.
You know what? I think I didn't play soccer back then, and we're talking our 80s, because I wanted to feel inclusive, included with my peers or our kids we used to grow up with. And I know you and the boys were playing soccer, and like I said, a lot of those stories are shined up a bit, but they're basically true. And I think that's why I didn't play soccer. I don't think. I mean, I loved rugby league, and I liked the physicality of it, and it was very my personality. But I had no interest at all in the round ball game, and I actually called it wog ball like the Aussie boys called it. And I think, like I said, I just wanted to feel inclusive of them. You know what I mean? But I actually regret not kicking the ball around and learning something, because You know what I mean? Now I can't at the age I am now, but maybe 10 years ago I could have kicked the ball around with you blokes. So. But anyway, and you know what? The other thing is I watch soccer and like I don't get it. I don't understand how I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand what they're doing tactically. But anyway, how about we go with the show? Huh? I don't think people want to hear about.
Yeah, sure, mate. Yeah, let's get on.
My soccer exploits.
Well, that was round 23. So what was that?
It's in the can, Nicola. In the can. Can you hear me, Nicola? It's in the can.
It's in the can. And the streak continues.
The streak continues.
Thank God St George played Bulldogs and one of them won. Well, Bulldogs have been holding us up this year. They've been they're the ones who are winning us all the rounds.
The Buy and Bulldogs.
Buy and Bulldogs. If it wasn't for them,
and 5 minutes away would have been Para too.
yes,
Was it for 5 minutes?
We'll get on to
Crazy
that.
5
Wow,
minutes.
what a crazy 5 minutes. So let's get stuck into controversy corner. Got a few things to discuss here.
Do it.
The first one, I'm sure it was the hot topic of the week at the beginning of the week. We had Buzz going off. We had everyone going off. The Cole Flano bite. Now, he went to the judiciary yesterday and he ended up with 4 weeks.
No.
You got 4 weeks, mate,
4 weeks for a love bite.
for a love bite. What's your take on it, mate? Do you think it was a bit too harsh? Do you think he deserved it? Do you think, I don't know, what's your take on
You know what?
KFC?
Biting,
Cole Flano chomp.
Look, biting. To be honest, biting has never been accepted. Be it 60s, 70s, be it 50s. It's just something you don't do. We all did it. They all did it. I'm not saying they didn't do it, but I mean, with the cameras these days, it's hard to get away with it. This specific. Did Crichton complain? Did he put
At the end of the game. He didn't do it straight away, but at the end of the game, he mentioned it. He spoke to the official.
Okay.
But they didn't I don't think they put a formal complaint in, but because it was reported after the game, they went ahead with it.
I'm surprised he actually put a complaint in. Now, I've seen the footage as well. I mean, I've seen the footage, and that's the way they tackle now. So the wrestle has changed. We can't make it look like a wrestle, so we use our torso and our head to keep players down. But they all do it. The Canaries just doing it better than
absolutely.
us. They
Yeah, I
all
agree
do it.
with that.
Okay.
They all do it.
Now,
yeah.
the nose was found close to Cole Flanagan's.
It's in his mouth.
It was in his mouth. Yeah, close to his mouth or in his mouth. So he decided to chop on it. Maybe he shouldn't have chopped on it because it cost him 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And the team is going to be lesser for it because that's the season if they don't make the 8. I'm okay with it, sort of. Because that was.
Yeah.
I don't want to see anyone's face in the other guy's face like that tackle, and they're all doing it. It is what it is now. Like, we can't get away with it because if you go back and look at other games, you'll see that tackle in different forms all across the game. All across the game. 4 weeks a bit heavy. 2 weeks.
It is heavy, mate. But
1 week and a fine. I don't know.
you look at it two ways, right? If they don't ban Flanagan for cheating and go down on Crichton and stop players from using their head to rub it in their face, then it's going to make players be able to bite now. You know what I mean? So they had to ban him for biting. Yeah. But it was pretty horrible what he did with his head. Like he moved his head. His nose was literally in his mouth. But that's how it is. A lot of players do it. He's not the only one who does it.
No. Look, I'm not blaming Crichton for doing it because, like you said, numerous tackles probably in that game was very similar. That was the one that just got highlighted. Not a nice thing to do. Rub your face into someone's face. Not a nice thing to chomp on the knees. At the end of the day, guess what? Carl beat him. Yes?
Yeah, Kyle beat him, yeah.
4 weeks, too much. What do you do?
If you compare his biting charge to others like move their head to do the bite, you know what I mean? Like there's movement. Kyle's head was sort of there, his nose was in there, and he just went chomp.
Yeah.
So,
look, you know what?
Hey, it's a fair call.
I actually don't blame Carl for doing it. I mean, if you saw the footage, you know why I'm saying that. And I don't blame Crichton for doing that type of tackle because that's what they're taught. That's what they're taught.
Exactly.
That's what they're taught. So 4 weeks is too much. 4 weeks is too much.
What do you reckon? 2 weeks?
2 weeks and a fine.
2 weeks and a fine?
Yeah. 2 weeks and a fine to tell everybody you can't chomp on. You know what? Biting is not nice.
biting's a really bad charge. So
Biting's
if it was a really bad one, he would have got 6 weeks and more. So 4 weeks is probably the minimum you could give for biting, I
well,
think.
last year,
2 weeks is too light.
is it? Because last year, in the girls' game, a winger, bit somebody. I think it was Isabel Kelly's finger, and I think she complained, and I think she got 6 weeks. I think she got 6 weeks.
Yeah.
for a chomp. So
4 weeks is actually light for a biting charge. So it is actually a fair.
You know what I don't like about it? It just comes at a bad time of the year.
Yeah.
4 weeks to go. You have to win every game to get into the eight, to secure an A position, because you can lose one, I think. If you lose one, are you still on 32?
Look, it's going to be tight. They've got a couple of games. I think they need at least 3. They're challenging with the Dolphins and the Knights, and they've got hard draws. I think the Dolphins have got a couple of hard games. They play you guys this week, which will be interesting. Yeah. But yeah, maybe 2 or 3 games might get them in. 3 games might get them in. So we'll see how it goes.
The Knights got
but losing Cole Flanagan, look, it's good. It gives another guy an opportunity. They've got a young kid called King Togia or something. I think his name is. I'll mention it later. And he's a really, really good young kid who's got a lot of promise. A bit young, but it gives him a chance if Flana puts him in to play for 4 weeks. So I'm looking forward to that as well, to be honest. The team was named. He was in the team. And I heard that they're going to put Bird at 5'8".
Oh, so he's fit.
So it sort of backfired. I thought that this Togio guy, King Togio, was going to get in there, but then it ended up being Bird.
At least he's stable. You know what
but
you're going to get.
Bird, Bird's an experienced campaigner.
Yeah,
He's playing reserve grade last few weeks, so maybe he might lift. And
It's not a bad thing.
He's won a comp, so he's not that bad. He's played 5'8" before, so it gives him an opportunity. And maybe Kyle can get a bit of a rest, and we'll see how we go. But yeah, it was an interesting charge, wasn't it? Biting charge, and it was talk of the town for.
When I saw it, and Buzz was going off, he
was.
was calling him to be thrown in jail for 10 years. I honestly thought he wouldn't. I knew he was going to get off. He wasn't going to get off. I knew that. He bit Crichton. But when you see the footage, you think, wow, Crichton puts his nose into his mouth nearly, you know what I mean? Yeah. Give him not a warning, give him a fine, give him a week, but the jiu-jitsu went for 4 weeks to send a message. The message has been sent. I'm sure the message is heard loud and clear. And look, biting, I've been bitten, and it's a despicable act. I followed the person who bit me all game. I would prefer to get a head high, a coat hanger back then, which they let go anyway, than being bitten. But, Carl will learn from this.
Yeah.
Carl will learn. The thing is, I just hope it doesn't affect St. George's run into the semis.
I got a call straight after that, and Manoli he said if we can create a new nickname for Kyle.
What's that?
Call him Hungry Jacks.
That's it.
So
That's it.
do you want to call him Hungry Jacks?
Hungry Jacks from now.
Okay, Hungry Jacks.
You know what? With Tanya's new name for
Super Freak.
Yep. There,
Rick James.
Yeah, we got in the third year of this pod, we got 2 new names. So there you go.
There you go. The other topic I want to discuss, mate, is he's been on the pod a few times now. Latrell Mitchell.
Latrell.
He decided to have a party or whatever. he had a good time on the weekend, and some guy took a photo and showed him with that with
Whatever it
what
is.
he was doing.
Whatever it is.
Now that's been in the headlines. What's your take on that?
What's your take? Because I think you know what I'm going to say. Or you might not know what I'm going to say. What's your take?
He's not the only one who's been
Of course not.
done with that. I think Munster and all that have done it before, and I think they got monetary fines, so they'll probably get a slap on the wrist. As a Dragon fan, I got a guy who had a barbecue. He got 12 weeks, and then you got guys doing this. I know it was during COVID, the barbecue. It wasn't good. But at the end of the day, it was with his teammates who he was sort of locked up with anyway. It wasn't out in the public. So if they did it at the ground, it would have been okay. But because it was at his house, he got 12 weeks.
Wow.
And now we've seen, and because they didn't go hard on the Munster and all that before, you can't go hard on Latrell or anyone else, because why didn't they go hard before? They should have gone hard on people that got caught doing this stuff ages ago. Not Braden Trindle, nothing happened to him. It was just quiet for a bit, and then he came on the field. Like once he got out of his injury, he was on. He got stood down a little bit, but that's about it.
Isn't he still getting investigated, Trindle?
I don't think so. I think it was all. No, he's still playing.
Okay, yeah, he's still playing. I know
So,
he's injured at the moment.
You know,
He's
what's his
still
name? Dylan Brown missed a whole heap of games last year, and because he did something, and he apologised for it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just this thing with the powder. If you're going to go in light at the beginning, then you know you can't go hard out of nowhere. You've got to continue being consistent, and it wasn't a good look for the game. I don't like the excuses coming out of it. Something about the picture being too grainy or something. that was a joke of an excuse. But you know, before people start blasting Latrell, he's not the first one to do this and be caught out. So you can blame the NRL for not going hard earlier. What's your take on it, mate?
You're going to be surprised because I'm usually hard on Latrell, but this is a little bit different. We know that this isn't an isolated case. Unfortunately, I mean, I don't want little kids to hear this because apparently they're role models. They shouldn't be role models, but I remember when they were my role models as well. And look, you know what? Some of them are still my role models, but we'll go on beyond that. So we know this is widespread in the game, but you know what? Do it. I don't care. If Latrell wants to shove something up his nose, his eyes, his ass, I don't care. But you know what? Make sure that there's no camera in the room taking a picture of you. Because honestly, you know what I care about? What Latrell does on Saturday night. That's all I care about. Now, he's gonna get to an age where he won't be able to do what he does on Saturday night if he keeps on doing what he did at that party. But at the end of the day, he's injured and he's not playing. Or he's injured, isn't he? He's injured. He's injured, he's not playing. So you know what? If he goes for a hike up a mountain, like I said, if he puts anything up his clack or whatever, I don't care. But to show it for one of your apparent mates taking a picture, or was it a video?
It's a low act. Whoever took the photo and published this, it's just low.
So one of your apparent mates taking a picture and then selling it to whatever happened. Well, make sure you work out who your mate is, Latrell.
Exactly. Yeah.
Really. And don't blame other people. And he hasn't come out and said anything.
No, he hasn't said anything. He's been
okay. Good. So look, I don't care. And I hope that the league just lets it go. But I feel for little Jimmy Jones, who lives in Redfern and he's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, and he sees this and he asks his dad, what's this all about? That's the issue more than Latrell. Latrell, you know what? If he keeps on doing that, guess what? He's not going to pick up $1 million whatever he's on because he's going to be playing like a bastard if he keeps on doing this. So, yeah, Latrell's Latrell.
You know, someone said this to me, right? At the end of the day, rugby league or sports players like rugby league players, they're there to provide entertainment for us, right? So
That's
we
what
can
they
lay and
are.
watch, right?
That's what they are.
What's the difference with them and a Hollywood star and a rock star, right? Now, we all know these rock stars take drugs in their off time, right? And no one goes off about it. It's fair. It's a Hollywood actor or an artist a musical artist can do all that stuff, and no one bats an eyelid. But when it's a sports star like in rugby league, they make it a big thing. Like, at the end of the day, it should be treated the same as they are in Hollywood and
Absolutely,
in movies. And
you know what?
It's what they do in their off time is bad. Look, if they do it before a game, straight before a game or something, then that's when you come down on them. But if they're doing it when they're, after they're celebrating and the game, it's not impacting the game and their performance. And
you know what, Artie? Us being adults, we know what goes on. Well, we got a fair idea what goes on behind closed doors. These kids are kids. They've got lots of time on their hand and they've got lots of money on their hand. Most of the times they don't live with mum and dad. They live with their friends. So as kids, they do what kids do. So, what Latrell done, his biggest mistake was he got caught on camera.
Yeah.
That's it. But now I'll say it again, exactly what you said. All we care about is what happens on Saturday night. That's all I care about. Now, if you're a good human being, honestly, I don't care. If you use, like Latrell uses his stardom, let's say, because he believes he's a star, to push some agenda, it better be a thought-out agenda. But unfortunately, Latrell isn't intelligent enough to do it properly, and he always gets caught up. But I don't know what he's going to get. Is he going to get anything? Is he going to get anything?
I don't know. We'll find out. But one thing that's funny is, like, if you watch a movie, how many movies do you watch now where the people on the show go, let's have a party, let's have fun, let's do drugs, right? And it's in every movie.
All of it.
To have a good time, you need to do it, right? So if they're worried about that image, then why don't they clamp down on the movies, showing them in every single movie? So you know what I mean? As if that isn't going to...
You know what? Movies reflect society, I think. And, I mean, let's get real. Like we said, we know what happens in society. What's Buzz saying? Frame him in jail?
Oh, I didn't know, mate. But they're keeping it quiet. They're going to wait till it's investigated by the Integrity Committee.
Yeah.
So we'll wait and see what comes out of that.
It's a grainy picture. So, you know what, they're going to do something.
Grainy picture.
Is it? I've seen the picture. I didn't really look. I mean, I saw what was happening. We all know, blind Freddie can see what was happening. But again, I don't care. What he does in his free time, I don't care. As long as he comes out on the Saturday and shoots the lights out, that's all anyone cares about.
All they got to do is whatever they did to Munster, whatever they did to Bromwich, whatever they did to whoever else did the same thing. Didn't Reece Walsh as well or something?
I think something.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, the same thing's got to happen to Latrell. You can't change it.
I think so. What was the fine?
I think it was a fine, maybe a game. I don't even know. It wasn't much. It was like a slap on the wrist, really. So
mind you, he's injured anyway. So
exactly. So
anyway,
alrighty.
Go Latrell.
Another thing that came out this week.
No.
Now, I think it was, who was it? Was it Bulldog?
What about it?
Bulldog, was it?
Bulldog Richie.
Or was it Crawley? Can't remember. One of them. They said, no, it was actually an article that came out about the Tigers.
Yeah.
Richardson wants the Storm to make public what they're paying Stefano, what his salary is.
Don't go there on me.
So
don't you dare, Adi.
Then it went to, should all players' salaries be made public?
Don't go there on me, Adi.
Now, what's your thoughts on that, mate? Should players' salaries be made public?
You love getting me angry, don't you? You love.
It's come up before, I know, but that's.
We are the only professional sport in the world that salaries don't get published.
Really?
We are the only professional.
So if I go into NBA,
yes,
I can look up LeBron James.
Absolutely,
salary.
Absolutely, you can. Absolutely. What do I know that the Giannis gets 72 million? We even know their endorsements. That's how it goes in those countries. Okay. And I'm going to really wingtail this one. Number one, everything should be public, because you know what? You sit here every week and talk about the Bulldogs tent. Oh, and I love it. It's good fun. Yeah. Okay. But how do you know?
Exactly.
How do you know? We talk about the sombrero that the Roosters got, and we have fun with it. How do we know? How do we know? We got Stefano going from Tigers, who could get $1 million a year, apparently to the Storm for 500. That's what they're telling us.
No, 850.
Or 600.
No, wasn't it 850?
No, I don't think so. Or maybe then things chuck in some in. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was 800, mate.
Okay, let's say 800. Let's say 800. Okay, well, he's overs then if that's the case. I thought it was 600. Okay,
maybe maybe I got it wrong, man.
No. Let's
but
say.
Didn't the Tigers offered him $1 million and they went down to 8?
Well,
or was it 8? Tigers 850 and they offered him 6.
Probably. No,
I'm not sure, man.
I actually heard that he's gone to Storm for 6.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and Tigers were offering $1 million.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
Okay, so how do we know, bud? We just spent 1.5 minutes debating about his salary cap. You know what I mean? They're saying that if they don't move some players, they can't afford him anyway. Nelson doesn't want to go, but how do we know? So I'll say it again, because I actually heard that argument on 360, and they're saying that the players this, the players that. Wait a minute. Last time I checked, it's the public that pays for everything. Because if we don't watch television, and if we don't go to the grounds, if we don't buy jerseys, there's no professional game.
That's true.
So, they're very proud and they don't want to know. Well, guess what? They can have nothing. I'll just stop watching. So I don't care what they say. Okay, it's up to the players to get real, to get professional, and they want more money. No problem, more access. Oh, but you can't more access. For God's sake, the NBA. You know the NBA player when they're playing, they're mic'd up. LeBron's always mic'd up. We know exactly what they're saying. We're hearing exactly what they're saying, how they're doing. The huddles, they're all mic'd up. So we have access. The NFL, watch an NFL game. They're mic'd up. We can hear everything. Yeah, but okay, they get 75 million. Why they get 75 million?
Mate.
Because we got more access to them. More access means more money. It's as simple as that. If they want more money, they got to give more of themselves to us. I don't like it either, but they want more money. Do they want more money? Well, there's only one way of getting more money.
That's true. If you want more money.
And I know Nick will be sitting lying down in his bed at the moment. When I hear because he's not a fan of opening up the books and telling everybody how much everybody gets. But you know what? It stops speculation. Everybody's comfortable that the Roosters are under the cap.
But it's quite a personal bit of information, like.
But we make
a lot of people
we
don't
make
like
it personal.
Saying what they're currently
but
earning.
we're
so
not
why
them.
should a rugby league player?
But we're not them. Now, you know what? I don't ask. I've never asked you. How many years I know you? 2 decades. I've never asked you how much. And I don't care how much you make. You know what I mean? Honestly, you've never asked that to me. And that's what a common man doesn't do that, Adi. But these are not common people. They're apparently role models or icons or whatever they are. And they're in the public eye. Okay? And I'm going to say it again. We are the only sport, professional sport in the world.
So rugby union, do you think that AFL?
Yep.
AFL?
Yes, absolutely AFL.
Really?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, AFL.
Do they have a salary cap?
Yep, they got a draft.
And
they got a salary cap, and all the payments.
Man, they've got double whammy. How can you have a salary cap and a draft?
Well, you got to have a salary cap and a draft.
What? I thought you have one or the other.
No. You got to have a salary cap and a draft. Because if you think that.
So what if you go in the draft and you get him, but then you can't afford him, so you can't? I thought the draft you can go for anyone you want, but now it looks like you're restricted because you've got a salary cap. So I can't get him.
This is a perfect scenario. Stefano is a perfect situation. Okay. He wants to go, kicking and screaming, wants to go. Okay. So he went to one of the best teams in the comp, if not the best team in the comp. Okay. How good's the salary cap working there?
Mate, the salary cap
killing it, eh?
Yeah.
So the bottom 4 teams are feeder teams for the top 4 teams now. Oh, that's what I think too. Okay, but what would happen if we had a salary? If we had a
draft? Yeah, exactly.
Draft?
I agree. Drafts.
So Stefano will say, I don't want to play for you. Okay, so who's coming last? Who's got the first pick? Oh, the Tigers. So you can either stay here or wait a minute, you want to go? No problem. This is what the Americans do. Okay, we got Stefano. Okay, who wants Stefano? Oh, you want Stefano? Who do you give me for Stefano? Who would you give me for Stefano? Forget money, you can pay him. Who you got for me? Nelson, okay. Nelson's on 500-600. You got 200,000 more to make up. What other youngsters going to give me? That's how it works in the NBA. Okay. Salary cap, sorry George. Salary cap, sorry GT. Salary cap doesn't work. Salary cap and a draft, no problem. You won't hear a peep out of me. But a salary cap, all that does makes the bottom 4 teams feeder clubs for the top 4 teams. You know what? Roosters are losing 4 or 5 players, whatever. Reckon they'll still be top 4 next year? I reckon they will. Somehow they'll be star-studded again. Okay. But how about
they're losing stars, so they're going to replace them with stars because that's what the Roosters do.
Well, yeah, Roosters every year play to win. Look, cap doesn't work. What was the original question you asked me? Yes, they should be all the salaries
should be public.
So there's no speculation. I'm going to say it again.
The fact that the NRL has got a $10 million salary cap, there is a salary cap, makes it more reason to be public because then you can see if they're all under the cap. You know what I mean? That's why you need to know their salaries.
Well, wait a minute. We don't believe the Roosters are under the cap, do we?
Well, a lot of people don't. I do.
We don't believe the Dogs are under the cap.
Yeah, no, exactly. There's a lot of but there's third party deals. If you're going to have strict salary cap, then why have third party deals, which just totally defeats the purpose because some clubs have got more third parties than others.
But that you can't stop because then
it's a joke then.
Yeah, I know, but that you can't stop because for argument's sake, let's go to NBA. Giannis makes 7 million from his club team, but he's really on a couple of $100 million from third parties. So you can't stop that. You can't stop the earning of these guys outside of rugby league. Now, I know what you mean, and I agree, because Laundy will give someone a pub, okay, if you need something. So I know what you mean, I agree. But at least if we can clean up the salary cap part of it, we know how much they're all getting. Look, it'd be nice if we put us. We're shooting ourselves in the foot because these clubs are greedy and selfish. We can't have a draft. We can't. Every other country in the world, please Google it, has a draft. NBA's got a draft.
Yeah.
Things got a draft. NFL's got a draft. Okay, soccer's a completely different story. You know why? Because every country in the world plays soccer. Has I think got a draft? The NPL?
EPL?
Soccer? EPL?
No.
No draft.
No such thing, mate. No.
Okay. Well, but wait a minute. You can go and grab players from anywhere in the world.
Yeah, but how many top teams is there? For the last 20, 30 years, it's only been 4 or 5 clubs that have won comps.
Same here.
Well, now that's how rugby league's getting, and that's what they want to avoid. But now they're getting there,
No,
aren't they?
you can't. You can't. So how do you get out of a cellar? Because you're losing top players. How do you get out of a cellar? Develop. Okay. Well, then I hope every club in the country, and that's the reason why they're going to America, but I hope every club in the country goes and finds kids and develops them, because if that's the only way you're going to get out of the cellar, because I think you're going to develop and then the Roosters will come or Bulldogs will come and buy him. So that's what I think, honestly. Anyway, look, yes, everything should be transparent. And by the way, we're the only professional sport that the main body gives you the salary cap. Because I can't see the EPL giving Liverpool enough to buy their players. I can't see that happening. So we're the only sport in the world, professional sport.
That's to stop clubs going broke. That's the whole purpose of it.
Yeah, but I've got a different view. If you're going to go broke, okay, bye-bye. Well, what? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, what? Because you know what? It doesn't really matter, because we argue with sometimes on the pod. The clubs that are top, it's not the cattle. It's a really well-run club. Because if you look down the bottom, there's some big clubs. There's some big clubs. They're just not well managed at the moment. You know what I mean? They will be. They might be. You know what I mean? And why is Tigers down the bottom? Because they're not a well-run club.
Yeah. They've got the juniors.
It's not the cattle.
Exactly. They've got
some of those kids coming through mouth-watering. But they're just not well-run, Artie. They're just not well-run. Look, I don't know, but I'll go back to the question that you asked me, and I believe that everything should be transparent. Now, I know that you're a bit different, and you're saying that you want everything to be.
No, if they do it in all other sports, then absolutely should be.
Is there every
why are we different? Why is the NRL different?
But what is your real thought? Like, would you want, if you're Dean Hawkins, would you want your contract to be no?
Yeah, look, I don't know. I'd feel a bit uncomfortable about it. I don't know. It'll create friction. I don't know, in the dressing sheds. You know what I mean? You're in there and you're rubbing shoulders with a guy 10 times, getting paid 10 times less than you.
Well, they know that anyway.
Yeah, I suppose they know it anyway, regardless. Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows what Latrell's on. Let's get real. When you're standing next to him, you know what I mean? Maybe Dean Hawkins doesn't know what Peter Mamazoulis is on, and then maybe they should be on similar money. I don't know, but I don't know. I think our game, in some ways, it's very primitive, and it's not for expansion, and we shoot ourselves in the foot. All these little things combined makes us in the dark ages, because you look around the world and you say that it's not a game where every country plays it. So we want to do that. We want to be that, don't we? Well, then you start from here now. You make it professional. Absolutely.
Yeah, make it professional.
Absolutely. And you know what? It is professional, but all these little things.
Yeah, there's a few things that we do that just doesn't make it professional, which is unfortunate.
I'll say it again. Are Roosters under the cap? You say yes. I say no. Well, there you go. And you ask me, are the Dogs under the cap? I say yes. You say no. But there's only one way to know. Only one way to know.
The only way I justify with the Roosters is when they lose a big fish, they get a big fish. They don't.
Yeah, no.
Whereas I don't see it from other teams. I'll see the other team release a junior and bring in a big gun. And I'm thinking, well, how does that make sense? You know, how can you bring this guy in for 800 when you've released a guy that's 200? Yeah. Whereas, you know, when Teddy came to them, they lost, what's his name, Tavasa Sheck, who was Dalian player fullback of the year, and then they replaced him with Teddy. Right? They lost Mitchell Pearce, they bring in Cooper. Cronk. They got replaced one good for another. Yeah. So I can see why they're under. I can't see it for other clubs.
This is not the Roosters bashing.
No,
because I think they're.
I think they're a very well run club. Personally,
I think they're a very
phenomenal.
I think they're a very well run club too, Adi. But I just throw it up there. It's just the first club we think of when it comes to sombreros or tents, as you say. It's the Roosters. You know, right?
I want to bring up something now which does my head in with salary cap. And Brandy made a comment this week, and I loved it.
Oh, no.
Right? Brandy said if it wasn't for the salary cap, Penrith could probably be dominating for the next 10 years with the squad they had. But because of salary cap, they can't do that.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with him. Why should Penrith be punished for creating juniors? Yeah. Like, they could be the next St. George 11 years in a row. They could challenge that. And Parramatta did it in 83, but they had no salary cap. They could have kept all that team.
You can't have.
You know what I mean? What Penrith has achieved in the last 3 years, to my mind, is better than what Parramatta did in the 80s. I know I'm going to get a lot of bite back here, but in this day and age, Parramatta would not have been able to do those 3 years because they would have had to release a half, a hooker, this, that. You know what I mean? They've released Coruscant, who's a gun, released Crichton. They've released, all these players. Imagine Parramatta, all of us, Steve Ella, you can't play there anymore, man. Sorry, you got to go. And then Brett Kenny and Sterling, you've been together for too long. You got to go now. Yeah. You know what I mean? You've won 3 comps now. See ya. You got to leave.
Adi, I agree with you in terms of if there was no cap, they would.
So you agree with Brandy's comments?
I do. The only difference is instead of the top liners going, the youngsters will go because they want to go to play first grade. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you'll still get a dispersion of talent, but just not at the top end probably. Yeah. And you'll keep what you need. In terms of that Parramatta team, that Parramatta team was my favourite all-time team and phenomenal, but you can't have that team these days.
Yeah.
How much
no
over
way that
the
team,
cap.
Yeah, forget it.
Don't forget that most of them were local juniors.
They were, exactly.
Local products.
So, like Penrith. A lot of them are local products
like
too.
Penrith. Well, you know what? I think in future, I think St. George will get into trouble once all the kids come through. I think that West will get into trouble. Same as Penrith when all the kids come through. Because there's so many kids sitting under.
There is.
For both
but there's going to be 3 new teams in a few years. So
this is the other
talent
issue.
will spread.
And Nico says, where are we going to find these players? Where are we going to find?
We just introduced Dolphins and look where they are now. They're 8th.
But Dolphins
2 years.
Yeah, but Dolphins have got this nursery up there.
But you can find players. Bulldogs found 12.
I know you keep on saying
you can find players anywhere. Like Trey Fuller came out of nothing. Yeah. He's a star. He can go Penrith. He can go to Perth.
He can go anywhere,
and play in the new club there. They've got so many good players. Look at all these youngsters that we saw this year.
Jai Gray.
Armstrong. Jai Gray. Ethan Strange came out of nowhere. What's this guy? We've got Keeney. We've got Weeks. We've got all these guys just out of nowhere, just coming through. And these guys are reserves. Yep. They're on the reserve grade. So players will come through.
You got me, Adi.
So much talent. We've got to spread it.
Okay. Yeah, look, I say yes, spreading talent. I've got no problem. What's happened to Penrith? It's not about it's happened to Penrith. It's the way it's happened.
Every team should take note. Every team should go, I want to be like Penrith. I want to grow a nursery and I want to have players on tap where I can just get from my backyard.
I think that's what they're doing now. I think that's what they're trying to do because St. George has done that. West has done that.
Parramatta did it for a while. Parramatta's
still doing it.
They used to have a lot of. Their junior teams were always killing it.
They're still doing it. It just at the moment they're in a hard place because it's a transitional. Once it all settles down, you'll see everything will be fine. Ricky's doing it in Canberra. He's got an amazing crop of juniors coming through. and he keeps on buying 19 and 18-year-olders. So I think that's the way they're doing it now. You can't go and buy 3 top liners anymore. You can't go and buy a Pappenhausen and a Monster and a Jerome Hughes. You can't do it.
Yeah.
You got to develop them. You can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Another thing that came up during the week, mate, is the play the balls, or should I say tunnel ball. Now, someone pinpointed Penrith. Okay, Penrith do a lot of this tunnel ball, quick play the balls, they just rob. Now, I've been noticing it from a lot of teams, not just Penrith. I don't know why they're getting highlighted as being the only team that does tunnel ball. It's happened a lot. And I remember a few years ago there was a big clampdown on this where, remember there was one game, I think it was Parramatta and someone where they decided to go hardcore, and Parramatta lost because they got like 12 penalties against them for not playing the ball. It was a ridiculous game. Yeah. Overnight they just decided we're going to penalise teams for playing the ball without using their foot.
I remember that. And it just was a penalty-a-thon, remember?
It was terrible. It was the worst game. And they went hard for a bit that year, and now it's just gone out the door. And you can't sort of go hard now because we're 4 weeks out from the finals.
Yeah, no, too hard.
But what's your take on this, man? What are they going to do? Are they going to next year maybe look at being a bit more harder on it from the start, or let it continue?
I'm not sure.
Does it really matter if your foot touches the ball?
That's interesting. That's an interesting comment, Adi, and I agree with what you said as well in terms of does it really matter? You know, let's put this in perspective. Penrith now, we'll focus on Penrith. Penrith have been doing that for 3 years. Okay, we've spoke about this. They train at above game speed, so they have to get every 0.000 second somewhere in that tackle, be it the falling on the ground, be it the getting up. You know what I mean? So think about it. They're playing higher than normal game speed. They're trained higher. So the idea is they bring it to the field, to the normal game. So everybody's caught on. Everybody does this. Everybody trains now higher than. Don't think that maybe Penrith was the first, but don't think that everybody's, right, they're doing it, but we can't do it. They're all training higher than game speed, okay? But Penrith do it better. It's as simple as that. Penrith have been doing it longer. Penrith have been doing it better, and it's part of the Ivan Cleary system, okay? And that's why they win. Honestly, that's why they win, because other teams can't hang in with them. They can't go 80 minutes at that game speed, okay? Now, I've seen those play the balls periodically in every game I watch now. Now, I was aware of that. I was aware of the tunnel ball. I've seen it, but I didn't care about it. Now, if you want to clamp down, clamp down. You can't clamp down now, I don't think. Or clamp down for 4 weeks. What's going to happen in the semi-finals?
Exactly.
Whistle,
you
pocket.
Can't do it.
Whistle, there it is, in the pocket.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to be. So it doesn't really matter now. Yeah, in the off-season, if you want to clamp down on it, go and tell each
do it
team.
then.
Yeah.
Trial games.
Absolutely.
When we have trials next year, just clamp down hard.
You send a memo out, an email that this year or next year, we're clamping down and play the ball. The foot has to touch, not attempt. The foot has to touch the ball. And then, all of a sudden, you got a whole off season for Ivan Cleary and every coach. I don't just say Ivan Cleary, every coach to find another way to shave 0.00001 off that tackle. You know what I mean? So I think it's ingenious. Honestly, I think it's ingenious what Ivan Cleary's done, and everybody's, like I said, I'm going to say it again. Every team does it. Every team does it. You know what I mean? They just do it better.
Yeah, yeah.
But what were they saying? Because I haven't participated in any NRL talk this week.
They're just saying they're getting away with it because they do it quicker. But no, I don't. You'll see it in other games, mate. I noticed that in even the Canterbury St George game, there was a couple of times where they just played it between the legs. Mate, everyone does it.
Yeah, well, the Bulldogs is like a baby Penrith. The way they play, in terms of all the fundamentals, it's like watching Penrith.
But I saw Dolphins do it. I've seen Dragons do it. I've seen everyone do it.
Of course,
it's just
of course they do it, Artie.
It's something they do now.
Especially
because
the middles.
The referee, they can get away with it now.
Yeah,
the referees didn't clamp down on it years ago, and they're still not clamping down on it.
Well, again, as John Creese said, quote, we know what Penrith do. How do you stop it?
Exactly.
And they asked how do you stop it is by doing what you do better than what they do. And if you need to take some stuff off them, you take stuff off them and you do it better than they can do it. So everybody's playing tunnel ball out here. But trust me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's putting faces in other people's head because that type of tackle was invented by by what's his name? By Ivan Cleary, not by Mr. Popular. So
Yeah, interesting. What about there was another topic that has come around this week, and that's the Roosters having a handy 3 mil lying around.
Oh, scary.
Now that they've lost quite a few players. They've lost Kiri, Suali'i, Manu. Manu apparently will be back next year anyway.
Really?
Yeah, it's only a short-term thing to make some money. He'll be back at the Roosters. But you lost Rory Hargraves. You've lost quite a bit of cattle there.
Yeah.
Got a lazy 3 million lying around.
That's scary.
There's a guy named Moses who's not committing to being a Parramatta next year. Can you see something there happening? A link there between
You know what?
Moses and the
see
Roosters?
it. I can't see it. I don't see it. I think Mitch is Parramatta and Parramatta is Mitch.
Well, he hasn't denied it. Why did he come out? Dylan Brown did straight away. He was told he was going to go to Perth or whatever. He said, no, it's not happening.
I can't, honestly, Adi, I can't see it. Look, it's a nice story that the journalists are going. What's that guy with no hair? He's trumpeted.
Hooper.
He's a disgrace. At least Buzz is entertaining. This guy's a disgrace. And Bulldog, he's another disgrace. I understand what they're saying. It's scary that Mitch is saying nothing, but I honestly believe that there's nothing to it.
Yeah.
Parramatta is Mitch and Mitch is Parramatta. Mitch is not going anywhere. I can't believe they're releasing RCG. I can't believe it because they've got to find someone new. I don't think they'll release. They're saying they're going to release Polo. They're not going to release. They can't release both of them. Release them. You have to find front rows. How rare are they?
Maybe they got him in the lower grades, man.
I don't know about that. Maybe they have. Maybe they know more than me.
Maybe
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. And Jason might have something up his sleeve. I don't know. But
Well, maybe Mrs. Arthur is having some pot roasts and organising some other players to come through. That's her segment later. I'll tell you who she's entertaining this week.
I'll tell you what, she must be doing something because Leeds in England had a big scalp on the weekend. So
Yeah.
so she must be cooking up a storm there.
Wow.
Good on Miss Arthur.
There is Miss Arthur. Okay, before we get to the signing news, mate, there's one more thing I just wanted to bring to your attention, buddy, and that's the NRL Hall of Fame 2024 class. So the following players have been featured in the Hall of Fame for this year, and I'll just go through some of the names, or all the names. We've got Lionel Morgan. I don't know. To be honest, I've never heard of him. I don't know. Morgan. Okay. The Morgan. Wasn't there a Morgan that played for
Rugby.
No, for the Cowboys.
And maybe
Maybe no. Maybe it's his grandfather or something because his name's something. Anyway, we've got Les Boyd.
Yeah.
Benny Elias.
Yes.
Steve Renouf.
Yes.
Cameron Smith. Jonathan
Absolutely.
Thurston.
Absolutely.
Billy Slater.
Absolutely.
Benji Marshall.
Absolutely.
Cooper Cronk. Greg Inglis. And a guy that I think you have a man crush on, you had for a while, Sam Burgess.
Oh, Sam. Just give him a immortal.
So what do you reckon, mate? Those guys deserved Hall of Famers?
Yes, absolutely Hall of Fame. And I asked you before the
Michael
pod,
Morgan, that's what I was thinking of. Sorry.
Michael Morgan.
Anyway, Lionel Morgan is the guy that's on here, but Lionel.
I asked you before the pod because I had my my feathers up thinking that Sterlo and Kenny weren't in the Hall of Fame, and they are. So
they definitely are, mate.
They can't.
They
that calmed me down. But I'm going to say that I've got no problem about those people being in the Hall of Fame, so they should be. But if I see any other name than P. Sterling as the next immortal, because I think by the end of the year they're going to pick another immortal.
Yep.
If I see any other name besides P. Sterling or
Ronnie Coote
or Kenny,
okay,
I will go off my rocker. No one, you know what? I know they're going to bypass the 60s. I know they're going to bypass the 70s, but you cannot bypass those two players. There is no way. If you're going to put Andrew Johns in, okay, no disrespect to Andrew Johns, but he's not leaving Peter Sterling's shoelaces. In my opinion.
That's your opinion.
That's my opinion because I know you got a different opinion, and I fully respect your opinion, Adi. But I don't know what I saw from that guy. I've never seen too many other people do it. So But let's see what happens. And the question you actually asked me, yeah, good. They all of those
All
players
deservedly.
deserve
Yeah. They all made a mark.
Absolutely.
Fantastic
one or
players.
two changed the way the game was played. I mean,
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, the Slater changed fullback play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One other guy played over 300 games there, didn't he?
Yeah, well, look, one of the guys that I'm glad is in there is the guy that I really admire is Benji Marshall.
Oh, yeah.
He's phenomenal, you know. He achieved it all at a young age. He won the grand final. He won the World Cup for New Zealand.
Yeah.
Phenomenal player. And then they got rid of his half partner in crime, Scott Prince, and then sort of never gave him a decent half to have for better years. But anyway, but yeah, all of them. But he stood out to me out of that list. Him and Jonathan Thurston, both rivals at the time, deserve it in there. Benny Elias, fantastic. Renoff, come on, how can you forget the Pearl? Cameron Smith and Slater, the Melbourne duo. Cronk and Inglis, four Melbourne players, huh?
Well,
part of that salary scandal team. But anyway, but they were great players for Queensland, mate. Unbeatable.
Australia.
And Sammy Burgess, probably the best English import I think we've had in the game.
I love Burgess.
Can we have any other better English import?
Oh, I love Sam. The guy was a wrecking machine, that kid. That guy was a wrecking ball.
I haven't seen the Hall of Fame, but if he's the only Pommy that's in there, that makes sense to me.
You know what? We should one day. I think it's in the city.
Yeah.
We should just go on to the Hall.
Yeah, we should.
We should just go there.
Be great.
One day,
Especially-
take a day off.
Yeah.
And just go to the Hall of Fame. I'm sure it's not happening on a Saturday. I'll take a day off. I'll go. I'd love to.
Especially if they've got Lionel Morgan, because then I can find out who he actually is and what he did. So I should have actually checked that before the pod. But anyway.
One of the best wingers seen
Best
for
wingers, mate.
South.
Probably
Bunnies.
a forward. We don't know.
No, Bunnies plays.
He could be a coach. We don't know. Could be the referee. God knows. But anyway, go Lionel Morgan. Well deserved, buddy.
Could be a ref.
Some signing news this week, George. Just a quick go over these ones. Nick Arima extended a couple of years at the Dolphins, the 5'8".
Good.
Which is a good signing.
Good.
It was finally announced that Blaze Talagi has gone to Panthers for 3 years.
Oh, look,
That's a pretty good buy.
it's a good buy.
Now-
they've lost enough.
They've lost Taylor Main. He's gone. Will he play in the centres? They got him for 5'8" too, eh? So he'll probably be 5'8", take over Luai's spot.
I would like to see him at 5'8".
But that's a pretty good one. Ewan Aitken joined the Rabbitohs, who's one of Wayne Bennett's favourites there. Brings him along. Bennett always says, I won't take anyone from the Dolphins.
won't
And then
take
next minute, he's already signed one or two. He's trying to get another.
I hope the curse doesn't go to up north there.
Yeah, but good on you, Ewan. He's coming back to Sydney. St George Jr., I really liked him as a player, fantastic player, and it's good to see him continue. Big one that came through today, it hasn't been formally announced, I don't think, from the Dragons, but it's more or less confirmed everywhere else. But Valentine Holmes joining the Dragons, so that softens a bit of the blow, losing Zach Lomax, getting Valentine Holmes there. I know he's 29 years of age, a lot older than, well, not a lot older, but he's older than Lomax. But
that's a good buy.
It's good to have.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be fantastic, to be honest. Great goal kicker. Got him in the centres there. Can play wing, can play fullback. So very flexible. So we can put him in a few places.
And he hooks up with his old coach.
His old coach.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, it's a good thing.
It's funny that we've got what's his name, Bird,
yeah.
and now we're getting Valentine. Yeah. Flanagan's getting the Sharks team back.
Put the old
I think he's
Sharks
trying to
in
get
there.
Ennis to come out of retirement as well.
Get
maybe.
Ennis.
And what's his name, Gallen. And the last one, I don't know too much about this guy. You probably know more. Tigers just signed one of the Doggies juniors, Skelton.
Look, good up-and-coming player.
Yeah.
Had a few games in grade and looked the goods. Strong carry, he's a winger. Strong carry coming out of dirty ball and a good finisher. He's a youngster, so that fits their, the pattern that they have in terms of bringing up young kids. I like it, and he should be good. He should be good. He was earmarked, but he can probably see too many players in front of him now.
Yeah.
So, but he's good. He's very good.
Oh, that's good. Good signing for the Tigers.
He's got a very good, strong carry coming out of a dirty ball.
Yeah.
I like that. No Taha, he's no Taha, but he's a good.
Yeah. All right, let's go through the round now, George. I'll go through the games, and we can just have a bit of a chat about each one.
Warning! I went for a conference and and all weekend, and haven't caught up with every game, but I'll give it a bash. See what
Give it a bash?
See what I can do.
I'll try and help you out, mate. First game of the round was last Thursday. It was the Rabbitohs 16, losing to the Storm 28. Now, halftime score was 22-4, and we thought, okay, here we go. Melbourne's going to sort of run riot here. But the Bunnies did well to win the second half. They won it 12-6. They only got them to one try in the second half, and it ended up from 22-4 to 28-16. Now, whether it was a case of the Storm putting the cue in the rack and having their eye on Penrith, don't know, but could be. But it was good to see Ryan Pappenhausen had an absolutely amazing performance. He was scintillating. He was really, really good in that win. It's good to see him come back with all these terrible injuries. So good on you, Pap. I think the Storm have got some tough decision here because they've got this young kid, Falogo, who is waiting to play fullback as well. So it's an interesting call because apparently if they re-sign Pappenhausen, then this Falogo guy can look elsewhere. And every NRL club's going to want this guy because he's special. Couple of interesting stats out of that game. Melbourne snapped a 3-game winning streak from the Rabbitohs at Acor, which was good. What's the name? Storm winger Grant Anderson has now scored 6 tries in 5 games. He's been having a good season. Another good find by the Storm. And the Rabbitohs have now lost 6 games against the top 4 opposition. They've lost all their 6. Yeah. So they haven't been in the top 4 side. And Fletcher Myers crossed for his first 2 tries of his NRL career on Thursday night. So another junior scoring tries in the NRL. Got a lot of young kids coming through scoring tries.
Okay.
So when you say there's not much talent, man, I'm seeing a lot of these young kids.
Look, I hope there is, and that's what I said. You need to bring talent up. You can't go and buy because once upon a time, you'd go early to watch reserve grade, and you'll watch them coming up. You'll know that they're ready. They come in and they don't, like some kids come into first grade and they need a couple of years, they say, to get into first grade. Well, they're ready. They'll come back in the 80s and 90s. They're ready. They come into first grade. They play. They're veterans. They look like veterans. So that's what I was saying. But on this game, what I remember and what I saw was the Storm. They did win, but they looked a bit clunky.
Yeah.
Their timing was off.
Can't afford to be like that next week.
Yeah,
or this round.
This round, yeah. Look, the good thing is that it's something you can fix quick. The other good thing is that at the end of the game, the interviews of the players, they acknowledged that they were a bit off and they were clunky. So when you agree to it and you go back to the training field and work on it, it's easily fixed. But they haven't been at their best for the last month. I actually think that they've got other things on their mind, like tomorrow night. I honestly believe they've got tomorrow night.
I think so too. Yeah.
Souths, look, they tried. I'm not going to say they don't try. I mean, Jack was a monster.
Yeah, they're putting an effort in, mate. That's for sure. Cameron Murray was a standout for that team, for the Souths.
Murray was
pretty good. Yeah.
And it was what's Thing good? The hooker.
Yeah. He's always good, mate. He's been
okay.
Cookie's been good.
Cookie's been good, yeah. Yeah. Look, I can't remember much of this game, but I do remember seeing that they were a bit clunky, but they keep on winning, and that's all they can do. The Storm.
Well, that's good. 3-2-1. Manoli's 3-2-1. Winner of this gets a nice Suvla dinner from Manoli, our favourite chef, our Greek chef. So 3 points went to Ryan Pappenhausen for that game. Jerome Hughes continues his great form with 2, and Cameron Murray got the 1 point for the Rabbitohs. Now, the next day, we had the early kickoff on Friday. You were at this game. It was the Sharks.
I was at this game.
And the Titans, 44-0 to the Sharks. Now, at the start of the year, you'd expect that result, but then coming into this game, a lot of tipsters were going, you know what, Titans got them here because Titans have been on the up and Sharks have been on the down. But then Sharks just went back into their early form without their halves, without Trindle, without Hines, and lapped them 44-0 and showed the world that they're back.
Yeah.
They're back. The Sharks are back.
Look, I was at this game, Adi. and I can tell you a few things. Number one, I can tell you that G's the best ref in the game. Number one. Number two, Cronulla, from the first tackle, just jumped them, just ran that little bit extra harder, tackled that extra bit harder. These forwards just kept on rolling, and the Titans was just, they were just lost.
Yeah.
Like they were just going backwards, and they were coming up, and they were losing the contact. The forwards were falling on their front, and I thought to myself, oh my God, Father, this I hope the Titans better do something quickly because they're just rolling the ruck. Mate, Talakai, my God, I've seen him live. He's a monster. He is a monster. And you know what? This pack, which I didn't think much of, Kafusi and Nikora and Rudolph, even Jack Williams, they're monsters. On that night, they were monsters. And who's this Stone Street?
Yeah.
He looked like an Origin player, a real scallywag. He looked like an Origin player. And Bailey at number 7, they actually swapped, and they
Atkinson.
Atkinson. You know what? Atkinson was playing 6, and I'm going to say it again. Atkinson is their best half. I wouldn't change Atkinson, and I know when Nico comes back, and what was that other guy? When Trindle comes back, they'll be the halves. But Atkinson is their best half. I still believe it. He looks sensational. I don't know. All I can tell you is that Sharks jumped him and didn't let him off the hook. I thought when they were going to come out back out, Titans would give a fight. They didn't score 1 point, and that looked terrible. He was missing tackles left, right, and centre. These wonder kids. Brinson is not a centre. You can put him anywhere. I don't care. Put him on the bench. He's such a good player. He's not a centre. You can't put him at fullback because you know what, Keeney? He's really small, by the way. He's really, really small and skinny. But they had him covered. Every time he got the ball, you'd think he was going to do something. They would just smash that poor kid. Carl Piera, like all those big runs, nothing. There was nothing to be given.
They were just gone outplayed.
So the score indicates the game on this one. The score indicates the game, 44-0, and it actually flatters Titans.
Yeah.
It actually flatters the Titans, and G's the best ref in the game.
And the atmosphere was good?
It was. You know what? It's strange being in a Queensland crowd because we're always in New South Wales crowds. Yeah. Being in a Queensland crowd and their version on the game and how they look at the game, and it was a Queensland team versus a New South Wales team. I just shut my mouth up. It was a really, really good take on north of the border there. It was interesting. It was interesting.
Oh, that's good.
I was like one of them. I go, yeah, go to the Titans. I was going for the Titans anyway. You know what I mean? So one guy was making excuses for the Titans, and he goes to his mate, "How about Origin?" And I turned around and I go, "We lost Origin." He goes, yeah, but how about before? Yeah, no, that's right. I go, yeah, how about before? We smashed them, mate. Yeah, these New South Welshman, you know what I mean? They're good value. Queenslanders are good value.
Yeah. Well, that was that 44-point margin was Cronulla's second biggest away win in history.
Really?
Yeah, it was behind
history.
62-point thrashing of the Knights in 2016 is the biggest, and that was the second. So it's pretty good to see. Did you know that Will Kennedy played his 100th game for the Sharks? He debuted in 2019 against the Panthers. Yeah,
it seems like he started the other day.
And there was a guy, I wanted you to tell me about this guy, Jack Williams.
I liked him.
He was good, hey? I thought it was great. He got called into the side, made 193 metres, 20 runs, 27 tackles,
he
a
looked
try.
Dominant, yeah.
He was good, mate.
I liked him.
You know, he came back into the side, and
I've never
really
rated
impressed
him.
with him.
I've never rated him. Every time I see him come on, and I think he's a bench player. He's not a starter, is he usually? Is he a starter?
He's been a benchy top player. Yeah, he's on and off, but he's a great player.
I've never looked at him, but on the night he stood out like a sore thumb. He was good. Him and Talakai and Rudolph had a short stint, and they took him off. They look sensational. They look like they had spider webs on them. Seriously.
Yeah. Well, Manoli, I should have asked you for the 3-2-1, but Manoli kept his eye on this one and he gave Jack Williams 3 points.
Yep.
Gave Jesse Ramey in the centre.
Yeah.
He thought he was really good in the centres.
He killed it.
And he loved Brenton Nikora.
Yeah.
He thought Brenton was
He
good.
scored a try, I think, but
He hits lines so good.
And that line that he hit, that he scored, I was right sort of sideways. It was on my side, and I could see the gap opening up. Atkinson was pushing, going forward, pushing the guy Nicker on the outside shoulder of the B. I think it was the C defender, and I could see the D guy drifting out. I'm going, he's going to hit the hole. He's going to hit the hole. Like it happened like that, but it was in my vision. It was slow motion how it all happened, and he hits it. I loved it. It was like orgasmic for me how that happened.
Yeah.
So Nicker knows how to hit a hole.
He's great. Game after that, the final game in the Panthers-Eels game, ended up 36-34. Now, the poor Eels just cannot take a trick. They were leading 16-14 at half time, and with 18 minutes to go, 34-20 they were leading.
Wow.
And then Panthers decided to take the pajamas off. Thought, you know what, let's go and score a few tries. And they scored 3 in like 4 minutes or something. It was just unbelievable. Now, there was one incident that came out of that game, George. I want to hear your take on this. The Panthers, were they obstructed? Or did they take out Dejan Arce
100%,
for the last try?
100%. That if
In any other game,
yeah, in any other game, or if it was on the line, that's an outside shoulder. Or it's an outside shoulder, so it's an obstruction. How the bunker and everybody missed that.
Well, the weatherman came out on Monday and said it was a good call.
Okay,
he
no
didn't.
problem.
He
The weather-
supported it.
Oh, well, he must be
It
right.
was-
We're
it
wrong.
was weird. Yeah,
He must be right. Artie. He must
it
be
was
right.
crazy. It was crazy.
That wasn't the reason that
Well, that was a turning point. That was the last try to get him
was
to
the last
36,
try,
and
but-
with 3 minutes to go or something. So
it would have happened,
it,
I reckon,
it
because
still probably would have happened. Might have happened actually. I don't know.
I mean, the Parramatta looked like they were that over the 80 minutes. Parramatta was a better team,
Yeah,
no doubt in my mind.
yeah. Over 80 minutes they were.
Over 80 minutes for 15 minutes, or if that, 12 minutes. Penrith was the better team. Not only that, I mean, every Broncos supporter must have been reaching for Panadols. Seeing what Cleary did on the night, it was amazing.
Maybe they did it on purpose, mate, so that they can prepare for finals. Hey? Let's get into a scenario where we're 16 behind or 14 behind.
I don't know about that.
Oh,
but
God.
you know what? I think that they also had something else on their mind. They
Yeah.
didn't play well, Penrith.
No.
I think they had this week on their mind. I think they were terrible. I think Taruva was terrible. I think Targo was terrible. McLean was okay. Toho, one of the runs he made for the last try to get out of to make that break or to get out of dirty ball and get he is, you know what? There's some players where you put the checkbook in front of them, give him the pen, and walk out, and he's one of them because what he does to your team, what he does to no other player can do what he does to your team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's and I just hope he keeps on doing what he does all his life, and I hope I don't see any decline from him, which we will one day.
Yeah.
They were good. For 10 minutes, they were good. Poor Para. They were so good.
They were.
They were
First
so
half,
good.
they completed at 18 out of 19 sets.
There's something about Parramatta's style that gets Penrith. It's their kryptonite. Parramatta's style.
Parramatta is their kryptonite.
Is their
You're right.
kryptonite. You know what I mean? Now we're talking about a Parramatta who's had a disappointing season, and I actually think for the last month they've played well. Parramatta for the last month have started well and have played well. Just I think their confidence gets them all the time. And this one, I think they just ran themselves into the ground, and Penrith just came over the top. And that's what Penrith does, yeah? Penrith win comms.
That's it, mate. Penrith are just too good.
And I really really like Dane Laurie. He shouldn't be a reserve grader or.
So there are players like that will go into these other teams that are coming in, these new teams. So there is players around, mate.
There is bits and pieces.
Yeah. Manoli's 3-2-1 for that game. He gave Blaze.
By the way, Trent can't buy a win.
He can't. I feel
Poor
so
Trent
sorry for
can't
Trent.
buy
He
a
can't
win.
do anything.
Poor Trent.
My God. Bazza.
He's just a bad luck. Poor Baz. He's probably poor guy.
Yeah.
Nico next week will tell us his winning ratio. Probably pretty sad.
It is. 3 points with the Blaze Talagi for that game.
went well.
He's been playing well. He gave Cleary 2 points because of the last 15 minutes. It was all him. He was sensational. And Sean Lane got the 1 point. I know he liked Sean Lane in this game. He thought he was really good.
Sean hasn't been playing well, or he's been playing in periods well, but he actually put it together. And I'll say it again. This Parramatta team, there's something about their mentality and their play that is Penrith's kryptonite. Because if Mitch was here, Mitch was playing, they would have won. 150% they would have won. So, but they didn't. As Nico would say, they didn't win, and Penrith move on from possible minor premiership. So, but I enjoyed the game.
Yeah.
It was a good game.
It was a good game.
The last 15 minutes was outstanding.
Oh, my God. Following that game, we had Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. We had the Raiders 24 losing to the Seagulls 46.
What
now,
happened?
It was 12-all in the 39th minute. So 1 minute before halftime, 12-all. Then Manly scored right in the second to make it 18-12. And then after that, they produced 40 points in the second half. 28 of them was Manly. So they just went on with it. Canberra scored a couple of tries near the end to make it a bit more respectable. But poor Josh Papali, 300th game, comes out, scores in the 9th minute. You think this is going to be Josh's day. And then next minute, Manly thought, nah, we're not going to let him have a party. We're going to take it off him. So they decided to put a show and show us that they're a top 8 side. The professor would have been really happy with that. It puts Manly a step closer to finals.
Yeah.
Brooksy finally gets to kick at one.
He played well.
He played well. He had a blinder. You'll see that Manoli rated him really highly. So it's very good that he finally got there. Maybe he should have left earlier, the Tigers. But then again, if he did, he wouldn't have got the barbecue. So he stayed longer.
That barbecue, yeah.
Jamal Fogarty equalled the Raiders club record and kicked his 22nd straight goal midway through.
Straight?
Yep. Straight. And that was a streak ended straight after that because he missed a penalty. Tommy Turbo played a good game. Scored 8 tries. He scored 8 in the last 5 against Canberra. Now, what else was it? The fullback's second of the match took him up to 100 tries. So Tommy's second try, got him to 100. So he's hit 100 tries now, which is really good to see. And our man, Cole Lawton,
Had like
100th game.
He's 100.
He hit 100 games. He's probably
Bravo,
38
Cole.
now, but he's still
Yeah,
hitting.
he's
No,
38,
he's
40.
not. He's younger
Go,
than that.
Cole.
But it was good to
what?
see Cole.
I'm going to
Carl.
next year. I'm going to enjoy seeing the Cowboys coming out of dirty ball. Carl Lawton will be hitting it up, and then all of a sudden behind him, he's going to be what's our favourite guy from North Queensland?
Anyway, no.
No, the front row.
Oh, Cotter.
Cotter. Both of them are together.
That's it.
How? Yeah, once we got them
Yeah.
all those years ago when
Yeah.
we saw them, we had no idea they're going to be playing together. Oh, I can't wait to see that.
That is so
I
good.
can't wait to
Yeah,
see
it's
that.
going to be good.
I haven't got much to say about this game. Canberra had a golden opportunity to win and ensure themselves or come closer to that top 8. I don't think they'll be in the top 8 now. The professor's got something here. It's taken him all year and last year, but he's found a formula which works. It's a hybrid of.
He got a lot of players back too.
He's got-
Lachlan Croker came back.
I think
a few other guys that were.
I was struggling with the Seagulls all year, and you can hear what I was saying. He didn't have the right balance. The professor, he was looking for something which he couldn't do. But I think he's taken him all year, but he's found the right balance. He's got this sort of part spread, part middle, attacking sort of formation. I'll look at the formation and study it well. I haven't done it, but you know what? If by any chance they can get into the top 4, and I don't know if they can, Nardi, there's a shot there. There's a shot there. I can see something. Okay. Now we know if you're not in the top 4, you don't win anything. You don't win comps. We know that. That's been proven. One day it will change, but right this moment I don't think it will change with this bottom 4. But let me tell you, there's something there. Professor, and I knock the professor a lot, but he's cooking something. Yeah. He's cooking something up here. And I like to see, I don't know who they're playing this week, but I'd like to see what they do this week.
I think they're playing the Warriors, so it's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah. And look, Warriors on their day can be dangerous.
They can be.
So, and I'm assuming it's going to be at Manly. So if Professor keeps on playing that style and they keep on winning at that clip, there's something there. I'd love to see how this year will unfold for him.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1 for this one?
What do we got for him?
We've got Barbecues Galore. Brooks got 3 points. Tommy Turbo got the 2.
Yeah.
And Keanu Weeks got the 1 point for the Raiders. He scored a try.
Good play.
1 line break, 5 tackle breaks, and 204 metres. So had a pretty good game, Keanu Weeks. He's been playing well last few weeks, so good on him, the young lad. The game following that is a game that we didn't see really coming, really, because after last week we thought the Broncos were gone. Done and dusted.
What happened?
But they ended up coming up and beating the Cowboys 42-18 in the Cowboys' backyard. So
What happened?
It was pretty good. Now, one thing that was weird about that was at the beginning, Reece Walsh was holding onto his wrist. It looked like he had a really bad wrist injury. But then in the second half, he had an absolute blinder. Was involved in 4 tries. So
really?
Reece Walsh played really well. A lot of the Broncos guys played really well. And that's missing Payne Haas and Ezra Mam. So they were undermanned by quite a few players, but it was quite an impressive performance. The Broncos were down 18-6 at one stage.
86,
and it finished 42-18. So they then scored 36 unanswered points. Now, Cowboys can't let that happen. It's not going to give guys like the only Egyptian Cowboy supporter in the world any confidence going into the finals.
There's no confidence.
He never has confidence in him anyway.
But there's no confidence. They can't tackle.
They can't tackle. They can score tries, but they can't tackle. But look, the Broncos have got the wood on the Cows. They've beaten them 4 times in the last 4 matches.
They have
so they do have a bit of a wood. So it could be just the jinx thing happening. You don't know, but
I know
it's worrying for the Cowboys.
I know Katoni shot the lights out.
Katoni, yep. Actually, I should have mentioned that. Katoni actually had an absolute blinder.
Did he score 3 tries?
He scored 2 tries, 10 tackle breaks. He had a lot of spiders on him. They wouldn't touch him. But yeah, he really burst the game open, to be honest. He brought the Broncos to life. Him and Reese. But fantastic game for the Broncos. Very disappointing game for the Cowboys. They were looking like a top 4 side before that and pushing Cronulla. But after this game, there's a bit of doubts now.
I'll tell you what. They're a dream attacking team, but if you can't hold out a team, you can attack all you want. You're going to lose. I mean, the Broncos couldn't win a rigged Scrabble match at their home club, and they scored 42 points. That rings alarm bells for me. I don't know how you fix it at this time of the year, but fix it they've got to, Artie. Fix it they've got to.
Well, they've dropped the Chad this week, so
Was Chad that bad?
Look, I don't know. He's doing some drastic measures there. It looks like. So 3-2-1 for that game, George. Did you want to talk more about that, or are you happy with that?
No, I didn't really watch it. I just saw some highlights of it.
Okay. Katoni Staggs got the 3 points. Reece Walsh got the 2. And the forward, Corey Jensen, was really impressive as well for the Broncos. He played really well. He got the 1 point. Now, to round out Saturday, we had our teams play. Packed out Cogra. From memory, George, you predicted on the pod that the Dogs are going to be taught a lesson here. Flano's going to weave some magic. I said the opposite. Goes to show how much little faith you have in your team, and how much little faith I have in mine.
Yeah.
But luckily for you, they got the win. Clearly deserved. They were the better side. That's for sure.
Yeah.
This game clearly showed which team's going to be a force in the finals and which one isn't. And St George being minus 100 in the for and against,
It's a minus 100.
it really shows in that game.
Okay.
But what disappointed me the most, right, playing in a packed Cogra, right, the crowds are up. We had two players unwanted by the Dogs. You had Kyle and everyone loves playing there, right? And I was expecting big games from them, but they were pretty poor. Ben Hunt, back to his usual bad kicking game. His kicking game's been awful. I know people say he's got the most assists in the comp, 28, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But if you look at most teams, the halves usually share the load. Well, Ben Hunt takes 90% of the load.
Yeah.
So he handles the ball a lot more than other halves, because I had to look at all the other guys' try assists. I think Drinky was second. And how many times has Drinky touched the water? The water. Drinky touched the ball in the games, you know what I mean? So it's a fake stat to me. Okay, he's set up a lot, but he handles it a lot.
Touches a lot, yeah.
But Mr. Popular looks like he's got the boys buzzing. They're on the bus. Flano's still got work to do.
Yeah.
I really think that Flano needs to work on the squad. They're just not good enough to cope with his methods, I don't think. So he's got to really make some changes. Toby Sexton, blinder.
Yeah.
He had a really good game.
He did.
The guy that really stood out for me, and I don't know if you're going to agree with me, George, but I mentioned two rejects from Canterbury, but Sexton wasn't wanted at the Titans.
No.
And this guy that I'm going to mention now, Kurt Mann, was not wanted at the Knights.
Didn't they want him?
And Kurt Mann was outstanding.
He was
It was
outstanding.
probably the best game I've seen. I've always rated Kurt Mann.
Yeah.
He was at the Dragons for a bit, and we had Mary McGregor at the time, and I don't think he knew how to use him properly. He put him at fullback. He put him at all these positions. He went to the Knights. He sort of didn't play as many positions, but he was okay. He was handy. He was part of the toilet gate. Remember when?
Oh, was he part of that?
Part of that. Remember when?
Holding the hair back.
Yeah. But he's really found a place at the Dogs.
He was outstanding.
They've put him at 13, and he's been outstanding. Probably.
He's been outstanding. And he was outstanding last Saturday.
Yeah, it's a great game. Look, the Dogs are really looking good, mate, and they're going to push for top 4. What's your thoughts, mate?
You know what? I was really disappointed in St George because the energy they showed against.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the energy and the passion and the need and the want and the hate and the line speed, they just didn't bring it. Now, I was going on that performance thinking if they bring that performance to Cogra, well, they would win. And I enjoy watching the Bulldogs. I enjoy watching a pattern of play which I've never seen in my life. I am intrigued to see a style of play which is not a conventional style of play in not even modern day rugby league, any rugby league. Because the game has evolved from the 50s and the 40s and the 80s, okay? But one thing always stands true. Forwards win games. That's what I've always known. Now, Mr. Popular is proving me wrong. I've never seen it. They don't go forward the traditional way. They go forward on the edges. They spread the ball left and right, and they work on bees. Occasionally they'll hit it up, and the backs will hit it up. Carraz will hit it up, make some meters. Even Crichton comes in, has a run. Definitely Tracy. But this power game, which I believe is the best way and the way that I like watching rugby league, they don't do. So I would have thought that Flano would say, okay, everybody run straight in the drain. Don't worry, straight in the drain. We're going straight through the front door. But it didn't happen. It defies logic what they're doing. But they're doing it, Adi. They're doing it. And not only they're doing it, 28-10, and I think St George was flattered.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, and we go on, and we move on, and we're going to the Dolphins. And if we can do the same thing to the Dolphins up in, I don't know, they're playing Bundaberg or somewhere. I'm not sure where they're playing.
Yeah.
Okay. if they can do that to Supercoach, because I'm sure Supercoach will have a plan to sort the Bulldogs out. Oh, I've got to take my hat off to Gus and to Mr. Popular, because I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Look, look, it's strange for me to see Canterbury come in, well, even anywhere near the 8. Okay, that's strange for me, and maybe a little bit strange for you too, because you're sort of on the edge of the 8 as well, and you're a chance of making the 8. So that's strange as it is. But what is even stranger is the quality that we're playing.
Yeah, exactly.
And what's even stranger to me is a style which I've never seen before, which doesn't compute in my rugby league head. It works. It's working, but if you read a book, it shouldn't. If you watch the game for 40 years like we have, it shouldn't. The only thing I can say, and I don't want this to happen, in the semi-finals, they'll be caught out big time. But who knows? I don't know. I don't know. But am I enjoying the ride? I'm enjoying
Absolutely.
the ride.
All the Bulldog supporters
I'm enjoying
are really
the ride.
loving this year, and it's good to see. So.
And there was no report of anything off field, any dramas off field. I don't know. Was there any reports of anything?
Oh,
off
the
field?
crowd? No, I didn't hear anything.
Okay,
so,
good.
I know they had a lot more police around security in that,
Good.
so that's good.
No,
yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's good to see. Yeah, it's good.
Good. I hope everybody enjoyed themselves.
That's right. Now, 3-2-1 for this game. We had Toby Sexton get the 3 points. He schooled the veteran Hunt.
Toby went really well.
He was really good.
And the question you asked me a couple of weeks ago, I would keep Toby and I would work. Don't go and spend $1 million on a halfback. Work with this young man.
Oh,
there's something there.
There is something there.
There's something there.
Absolutely.
And in 3 years, you're going to have a young man coming through anyway. Okay, who just came out the captain of the Australian schoolboys and carved up. So wait and just work with Toby.
Yeah. 2 points went to Kurt Mann, and 1 point went to the 18th man specialist, Burton. He's a specialist in the 18th for New South Wales. So he got the 1 point there, which was good to see. Sunday, we had... I really enjoyed this game. It was my game of the round. It was the Dolphins 34, Warriors 32.
I didn't watch it.
Now, well, it was 20-6 at half time. Dolphins looked like they were cruising. But then it took a Sean O'Sullivan 2-point field goal in Golden Point to get them the win. Now, I was watching that game, very interested, because if the Warriors won that game, Dragons stay in the 8.
Oh.
But the Dolphins just were in control, but Warriors just kept fighting back and somehow scoring a try, and they were just doing a really good job of it. So, yeah, it was an enjoyable game, second half especially. A few errors, but it was good. It was flowing. It was it was nice. It was an entertaining game.
How'd the poll go?
The poll went all right, man. It was good. His goal kicking still lets them down. A few more goals at the end it cost them again, because they lost by 2 points and in Golden Point. So if he nailed one of those, it would have got him over. And they weren't. There was a couple that most goal kickers would get.
4 out of 6, and Osaka kicked 5 out of 5.
Yeah. There was one that he could have got that wasn't too hard. But yeah, it was an enjoyable game, and the Dolphins snuck into the 8 because of that, on the back of that, which is good for them. But yeah, interesting game, man.
What I did see, what I have seen, I think Max Plath keeps on impressing. Keeps on impressing everybody, and I heard an interview with Herbie Farmsworth. He was on James Graham's podcast, and it was a long interview, but I picked out one thing, and this might give us an insight about another team. He said that there's not one day that passes by which he hasn't thought about the grand final. Last year's grand final.
Wow.
He feels sick in the stomach every time he thinks about it at the same time. And he goes, I haven't gotten over it yet. And you can all listen to it on the James Graham podcast. Now he left and he didn't do preseason with the Broncos, obviously. But I wonder if that's playing a bit of a role of the Broncos' demise. I don't know.
Yeah.
because he didn't do the preseason. So they must have sat down and talked about it and got it.
True.
They must have sorted it out in the preseason. But Herbie left, obviously. But he said he hasn't got a note.
Yeah, it would hard to get over. It was a very disappointing end to their season. But what can you do?
I just thought I'd mention that because we're going to go past and not mention it. But we're also going to we're going to have a conversation between now and the end of the year. Why did Broncos fail this year? Or it looks like they're going to fail because I think if they win all their games, they might slide in. Who knows?
Well, they got the bye this week, which is good. That's going to help them.
Yeah, if they win all their games, they might slide in. I don't know. They might slide.
They've got to hope the Dragons
for and against
and the Dolphins really slip up though, because I think they only have to win a couple of games and they'll finish ahead of them. But we'll see, man.
Anyway, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
it'll unfold.
3-2-1. Herbie Farmworth got the 3 points.
Go
Broncos are definitely missing him. Disney got the 2 points for Neil Blake, Aladdin. And Max Plath got the 1.
Yeah,
he keeps getting points, this kid.
Gun.
He's got to be up there, Rookie of the Year. Because I don't know if he played last year, but if this is his first year, he did?
I'm not sure. I think he actually did.
If this is his first year,
he
did.
You know what? Rookie of the Year this year is very, very interesting because everybody's saying Bostock and I'm saying...
Bostock?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And I'm saying a certain 5'8" at Canberra.
Yes.
That's what I think. But
yeah,
everybody's saying to me Bostock. All my peers and friends are saying Bostock.
Oh, I agree with you, mate. Ethan Strange. Yeah. Definitely up there.
I think so. But anyway. I mean, you can go Lockie as well, Galvin. But
Galvin, yeah.
I still think the 5'8" from...
Yeah, it's my choice. I'd pick him.
Yeah.
And he's had Fogarty out for a while too.
Fogarty out
so
for a
he was
while.
on his own.
But there's a lot, isn't there? There's all those fullbacks that came through.
Yeah.
That South Sydney fullback.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's going to be interesting.
At the end of the year.
And to finalise this round, late in the afternoon on Sunday, we had the Knights 34 defeating the Tigers 18. This young kid called Fletcher Sharp scored four tries in that game. Absolutely blinder at McDonald's Stadium. What a place to score in front of a parochial Knights crowd there. He got his hat-trick before half-time and then scored one after half-time, which is great. It was an absolute standout. Apart from that, it was a seesawing battle. It was good to see the Tigers put in a fight, but in the end, Knights too good.
Yeah. How did Phoenix Crossland go at 7?
To be honest, I didn't see too much of this game, but I just saw the shorts, to be honest.
Okay, let's move on then.
No?
I was going to say that Gamble should stay at 6.
Yeah, definitely. It makes sense.
I know they keep on moving the halves around, but Gamble should stay at 6. And you know what? On Hastings, the jury's out.
Yeah.
The jury's out. I'm not sure.
He's back this week, but he's on the reserves.
I want to believe, but the jury's out.
Too many clubs now.
I'm not sure if he's having problems. I don't know about that. All I know is that his play, it's too stagnant. He's too slow on his feet. He's a good game manager, but he's too slow on his feet. So he offers only a passing game, and he's too lateral. He gets into this habit of being lateral instead of direct. If it was more direct, because Gamble's direct, it would straighten everybody up so they could be hitting holes instead of everybody going, all the defence going together and slide and cramping. So I'm not sure, Adi. I like it. I like it. I like Hastings.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Anyway, let's move on.
3-2-1 for that one. Minorities 3-2 was Fletcher Sharp got the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Ponga got the Kalen Ponga got 2. Kalen actually rang and asked if we can give him 16 points. It still wouldn't be enough, Kalen. That's the NRL that does that, not Manoli. Manoli's a bit more strict than the
Manoli, he's fair dinkum. He's fair dinkum. He's fair, mate. Manoli's fair.
And Jareem Buller keeps being the shining light there for the Tigers.
He's good.
You know, this spine's going to be good next year.
I think they're going to improve.
And Coruscant and Luai and Galvin, mate.
Honestly,
it's a very good spine.
Honestly, I think Luai's going to do what Crichton's done to us. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to make the 8, but they're going to improve
make a huge
difference.
Side.
Yeah, he's a winner. Kid's a winner. Say what you want about him. He might be annoying, he might be whatever, but he's a winner.
Yeah, absolutely. Love to have him.
Yeah, everybody would.
Yeah. Now, looking at the leaderboard, Roosters got the bye, so they got a nice cushy run, bit of a breather, and getting themselves ready for finals run. Leaderboard, Jerome Hughes still on top. He's flying ahead. He's on 29. Teddy, who hasn't got a point for so long, is on 21. Cherry Evans on 20. And Matt Burton, the professional 18th man, 18 points. He's on 18 points as well.
Hey, good on him.
He just loves the number 18, doesn't he?
He loves
There
it.
you
Loves
go.
it. He's not going to get any more points, though. That's it.
No, that's it. He
He's
can't
got
get-
it. He's going to stay there.
He can't get any more, mate. He can't get any more. Now, if you look at the ladder, we'll do the power ranking in the ladder at the moment. So Storm, Panthers, Roosters, Sharks didn't change. No movement in the top 4. No movement in the top 5, actually, because the Bulldogs finished on 5th. There was only a slight little movements. The bottom ones, Seagulls went up 1, Cowboys went down. So Seagulls are 6th, Cowboys 7th. So they swapped places.
Man, St. George is 26.
And the Dolphins and the Dragons both went up and down. So Dolphins slid into the 8, Dragons dropped out of the 8. Knights, 24 points, so they've still got a slight chance. Their for and against is just as bad as St. George. And then you've got Raiders. Broncos are on 21 or 20.
22. So
22,
they
sorry.
can't make it. They won't make it.
They won't make it. 4 points. Like I said, Dolphins and the Dragons really have to screw up big time.
It's up to the Knights. It's up to the Knights, and that's it. If they get a good run.
Yeah. The big movers were the Knights. They went up 2 spots, so they've gone to 10th. The Broncos went up 2 spots, gone up to 12th, and the Titans were the sliders. They dropped down 2 spots. So now in the power rankings, Storm, Panthers, Roosters, Sharks. Are you keeping that 4?
Top 4,
Or are you moving Bulldogs up for the Sharks?
No, after the performance they gave on Friday night, no, keep the Sharks. If they give that performance also the rest of the season, not only they'll be top 4, they'll be a problem.
Yeah.
They'll be a problem.
And the bottom 8 is bottom part of the 8 is Bulldogs, Seagulls, Cowboys, Dolphins. I'm happy with that. I think that's the best of the next.
I think so.
And we'll leave it there.
Man, you know what? I just look at the Dolphins and the Cowboys, and man, Dragons can beat both those teams.
Yeah.
It'd be a damn shame.
Now we've got Cornelius. We'll do now that we're fresh in the round. Let's do the Cornelius Awards, mate. So, what was your best game of the round, George?
The Parramatta game.
Parramatta game?
Yeah.
It was a good game.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting.
You know, I had Dolphins and Warriors, but when you think about it, it was a pretty good game because no one expected the performance from Parramatta. So I'm happy to go with that one.
Well. They played really well.
Let's give that one to Parramatta versus the Panthers. Best team of the round. It's got to go Sharks. 44 zip.
They were outstanding.
Yeah.
I've been there. They were untouchable. Honestly, they looked like the St. George team back in the 60s when they won 12 in a row or 50s in a row. They looked so good, Artie. They looked so good.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll give it to the Sharks as the best team of the round. Worst team? Now, Titans scoreless has to be up there. Mine was, to be honest, St. George, because I thought, well, for what they were playing for in front of a crowd, top 8, that was a really dog shit performance, honestly. To have that much at stake, it was just really poor.
They were poor, but to see the Titans live,
they were really bad?
They were never in the game, Artie. They were really battling. Even in good ball, they were bad.
Yeah.
They were really terrible. They were terrible. I know Cronulla made them look terrible because they were really hot on. They were on. But they didn't really fight.
Yeah.
They didn't fight.
Best player of the round?
I'll tell you what, anyone who scores 4 tries.
Fletcher Sharp?
Yeah, anyone who scores 4 tries, you've got to give them.
And it's his debut. He's a young kid.
That is debut.
Yeah. Well, no, he's a young kid. It's
Young
his
kid.
first. It was his early game. It was one of his early games.
Yeah.
So Fletcher Sharp gets it there. I gave Fletcher Sharp best rookie of the year of the week, and I gave Tony Staggs as my player of the round.
Okay, yep.
So we can.
with you.
I don't want Manotti just to give one year away. We've got to give him
Give
2.
him
So
all,
give
give
one
it
to
all.
Katoni and one to
No,
Fletcher.
No problem.
Yeah. Cornelius did have a highlight of the round. He loved the Warriors guy after scoring a try, getting kneed in the head by his own player and going off HIA.
What happened
That was fantastic. I don't know. He just scored, and then when he went to get up, one of the Warriors players went to congratulate him and kneed him in the head. knocked him out. You could see the guy lost consciousness. He was gone, and then HIA.
no.
So that was Cornelius loves a knee there. So
Loves a knee,
it's
Cornelius.
good for Cornelius. There's not many notes this week. I think Josephina, I asked her, I didn't know what to find, so I asked Josephina who's better out of Stephen Crichton or Latrell Mitchell. And she said, look, both are the same. The only difference with them is the noses. One puts things in his nose and the other one puts his nose in things. Now the Tigers are playing at Campbelltown this week. You know what that means? They lose everything.
They lose
their
everything,
keys,
yeah.
everything. They even get lost sometimes on the way there.
Sometimes on the way there, they get the wrong exit.
So this week, to make sure they're hiring such an Uber driver to take him
Sachin's going
to Campbelltown. He's
He's
going to
going
drive
to
the
Campbelltown.
bus. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't
but
think it's a good idea
Benji
either.
was asking for Sachin's number, so I gave him Sachin. So
well, at your own risk.
if the
you
game's on Saturday, they better leave on Friday. But anyway, Cowboys defense. Apparently, Cowboys defense has been really poor lately, so they've hired a new wrestling coach.
New wrestling coach.
Yeah.
Who did they get?
Apparently, her name's Rachel Gunn. She's at the Olympics. They wanted to get the a lady that was competing for
Rachel
the.
Gunn?
Yeah, she was competing for the wrestling. I reckon.
Wrestling?
Yeah.
She's a rap dancer.
Oh, it was the breakdown. Oh, they
break
thought she was a wrestler. They were confused with her. Was she wrestling? Was she fighting? Like there was no
She
one
was
there.
dancing, I
Like
think.
what was happening with that?
She was dancing.
Anyway, so they got her as
Poor
the
Rachel
wrestling coach.
Gunn.
Rachel Gunn.
They got the wrong one.
The new wrestling coach for the Cowboys. Kyle from Cogra.
Kyle from Cogra.
Yeah, apparently Manoli spotted him. He was coming out of Blockbuster.
Blockbuster?
Yeah, well, he's got a few weeks off, so he's borrowed a few movies. He got Jaws, Interview with a Vampire, Twilight. He's got a few movies to watch. Jeez, bloody hell.
Bloody Kyle.
Bloody Kyle.
Bloody
4
Kyle.
weeks. Rest up, boy. This week's guest for Mrs. Arthur's pot roast dinner.
Well, she's cooking again.
Yeah, she's cooking again. Now, look, they lost Talagai on the week to Penrith. So they went back to the Well. They went back to St George. They tried to get Valentine Holmes to sign for Parramatta. They love
Parramatta.
Yeah, they love St George centres. Because as soon as they found out he was going there, they wanted to sign him. So,
Put the pot roast straight
so
on.
they thought, you know what, we got one from St George. Just try and get another one. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
See what happens. We're still
If
waiting.
Valentine goes with that.
Apparently got food poisoning.
Yeah, apparently might have. Probably that's why he signed for St George at the end. Now, what have we got coming up now? Let's discuss our crystal ball segment, eh? We'll see what's happening.
Let's do it.
I've put a few extra tips, a few, what's the name? A few stats around some of the games, just so we can go through. Someone's asked me about that. They said, "Oh, how come you don't put stats in anymore for when you go crystal ball?" So I thought, you know what, I'll throw in some stats here. So let's go through that segment, George. Now, the first game of the round is on Thursday night, and it's
Can't wait.
the Storm versus the Panthers. Now, Liam Martin and Sorensen are out.
There we are.
Edwards, Fisher, Harris in, so they're the two big
they're
ins.
in.
Or they've been named. And for the Storm, they've got Katoa back, the back rower. He's very good. Now, the Panthers have won 5 of their past 7 against the Storm, so they've got a bit of wood on them, man, which is something good. And Brian To'o has scored 6 tries in the last 4 against the Storm, so he loves playing against the Storm. So who's your tip for that one, mate?
Well, the game will be stop-start because Ashley Klein's reffing.
Oh,
So he's
wow.
going to blow the P out of the whistle. Number
Yeah,
one.
for sure.
Number 2, I don't know. This one, you know what? I believe last week both teams had one game on their mind. It wasn't the game they were playing. I think it's got nothing to do with the minor premiership. I think they want to put a message out to each team. I'm going to stick my head out and say Ivan saw what Flano did 2 weeks ago, how he targeted or everybody else bar the Stars, and he's going to do something similar at Penrith on a cold, wet Panther Stadium. I think they'll drop off their soul too. They'll be giving.
No, but that's,
They'll
it's
be
a
giving-
big soul, that one.
No, they won't win by a lot.
Yeah.
But it'll be a soul-winning game. You know, that defense and that smother, and that's what I think. But that's what I want to. That's what I want to believe. That's what I want to watch.
Yeah.
But who knows?
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a cracker. Before this game, before the Storm lost to the Storm, the Dragons, I honestly thought the Storm would probably win this, but I saw some cracks in that, and I think Penrith are going to really take advantage of it and get the points. So I'm going Panthers.
Adi, I honestly believe at everybody's best, Panthers will win the comp. But the gap between them and everybody else has shrunk, so anything could happen on the day.
Yeah.
Last year, it was like them and Daylight, and the year before them and Daylight, but now the gap is shrunk. So who knows? Honestly, who knows?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, mate. The only team that I think that's going to really trouble them with the way they play, and that's only when they play well, is the Roosters.
Yes.
Apart from that, I think
Yes. Yes. No. You're absolutely right. They've got a defensive issue,
Yeah,
which
that's
I'm
it.
hoping they can sort out. But if they sort that out, oh my Godfather.
Yeah, it'll be a great cracking grand final if they play. Now, one thing I should have mentioned as well, last week in our tipping, you got 3 out of 8, mate. You had a shocker.
Mate, it's over. The year season's over for me.
You're on 88 points.
Oh, gee.
Now, Nico got 5, so he goes to 94.
Yeah.
New leader.
Nichols the one.
No, me.
You.
I got 7, mate. I got
How'd you get
one
7?
game wrong.
How'd you get 7?
I missed out on Cowboys, man. Bloody hell.
Bloody Cowboys.
Broncos decided to play 1 week, man, and they bloody killed me. Yeah, so I got 7, you got 3, and Nico got 5. So, interesting round.
Well, you're pretty close. I'm gone. It's over for me. I can think about next year. I can think about the end of year trip.
You got to do the nudie run. Don't forget.
Looks that way around the table.
Now, next game after that, we got the Seagulls and the Warriors. Manly, Waddell and Kula back in. So is Alloway. I think they're forward. For the Warriors, you got, listen to this, Sean Johnson, Pompey, Bunty Afoa, Metcalf and Montoya are all back. They've been missing those guys.
Gee.
So that's, when you think about it, hey, that's a big chunk of players. Seagulls have won 8 of the last 9 at 4 points. So they've got a good record there, man.
Okay.
And Warriors have only won 1 of their last 5 games at 4 points. So their record isn't that good.
Okay.
So what's your I don't know about those stats anymore because that 1 win might have been in 2011 or something. But anyway, what's your tips on that one, mate?
Warriors got an outside chance to make the 8, haven't they?
Not really.
Not really. Okay.
Not really.
Okay.
Where are they? Let's have a look.
If that's the
mate, just quickly.
case, 4 points.
Warriors are on 21. They're
way.
5 points.
No way. Look, Friday night, 4 points. The professor has found the circuit source. It'll be tight because these Warriors don't go away. But if they're going to make the 8 and they make the 4, they're going to have to start doing it and doing it now, Artie. And then they will do it now. And, Chris Butler's reffing, gee.
So you going Seagulls?
Yeah, Seagulls.
Yeah, so I'm going with the Seagulls too, just for the home ground advantage. Game after that, which will be, I reckon, a cracker, Roosters versus the Eels. Roosters have won the last 5, and there's not really many changes, not many big ins and outs for that game, so they're all sort of at full strength, all same as what they were last time they played, last game they played, I should say. The Roosters have won 5 of the last 6 against the Eels, so they've got a bit of a run on them guys. And Blaze Talangi's been in red-hot form.
Yeah.
He's scoring 7 tries in the last 8. So
They come into this game with good form.
yeah. Well, the Eels have come in with